Welcome, welcome, welcome to the Empower Network TV. Today, I have an amazing guest for you today. And as you all know, we've been doing some interviews and we have been interviewing some incredible people all across the world. So it's a global thing that's happening here at the Empower Network. And so today I have with me a very special guest who is also a very longtime friend of mine. I'm talking about years, and we ain't gonna get into our age and everything, but it's been years. We've been knowing each other for some time. We go way back. And so she is an incredible powerhouse woman who really leads the charge in her industry. And I wanted to present this as a treat to you all. I wanted you all to see what I see, but also what other places in the world have already been exposed to, for you to really get an understanding of who this amazing woman is. So Kim Galske, welcome to the Empower Network TV. How are you doing today?
I am fantastic, Arletta. It's so good to see you like this.
It's wonderful to see you too. Well, today we just gonna, just be having a conversation, but I already told you kind of a little bit to kind of like prep you a little bit. Real simple. The Empower Network TV, what we really do here is we empower, or we give tools and resources to individuals that are out there who are active learners, people who are coaches, influencers, the people who are really change agents in the world. This platform has been developed to be able to give them their voice so that they can give it globally. And so when I think about all those different aspects, you instantly come to mind, because I know pieces of your story, but I want the world to know your story. I want them to know who Kim Galske is so they can love you just as much as I do. And so tell us today, who are you? Where are you from? What is it that you do? And the last question, why do you do it? Why is it important to you? So it's a loaded, like 4-piece question.
I'm going to try to remember it all. Right now in this moment, I'm just taking it all in, and I'm almost overcome with emotion. I had to pull it back because of our story and where we've come from and where we are now. And we've always had ahead of us that this calling to do better for people. And so I think we've both been on a journey to be better for others. It's not always just been for ourselves. Of course, we've learned along the way that if we don't focus on us, if we don't focus on our internal struggles and some of those things, then we can't show up for other people. So my name is Kim Galske. Thank you for interviewing me. I'm so proud of you and all of this. I'm so excited. I can't really keep my thoughts together for you and for this global audience that is going to be able to meet so many more people like you and I, because we're just people that are out on a mission, and we don't take no for an answer. Because we know that fighting for other people is an uphill. I always say it's like being in a canoe going up Niagara Falls, or wherever that may be for you in the world, the biggest mountain you could ever climb. That's what this is about. And so I have a military background. I think I'd always been kind of wanting to serve, be the leader. I didn't really know what that meant until probably about 10 years ago, and what that actually meant. When you go through adversity and you come out the other side, and you put everything that you know about God, religion, whatever that might be for you, whoever your higher power is, that you just know innately that you have something inside of you that nobody else has. There isn't a carbon copy of you. There is no such thing as, going out and being just like somebody else. You can free yourself from anything, free yourself from that each one of us holds something really special that the world needs to hear. And I used to play the comparison game because I didn't have a good role model. I didn't know that I could walk in my own power to create something that was mine. And I just wake up like this every single day. That is almost surreal that I get to do this, and it does not come without a lot of hard work. I think I have quit growing this company more times than I can count, through tears and adversity and just learning myself and my own kind of shortcomings in the moment, especially when you're dealing with clients. So about 3.5 years ago, I officially started to create with an amazing partner of mine. I did not do this by myself. His name is Fritz. He's incredible. But we started putting this company together called Rewired Dynamics. And we
Mm,
really put the science behind communication. So there is a whole science to communication and how we understand ourselves. And so we started studying the brain, because my question was, how, why, when, how does it work? How can I change my mind? Why are there more, there's just as many successful, hyper successful people in the world than there are people that really struggle to understand their own power. So why is that? How can some of us change our mind and change the trajectory of our lives by just thinking differently? So I've
mm,
read a lot of mindset books. I've read a lot of, empowerment books. I've read a lot of things, but it wasn't until I really started studying the science behind the brain, thoughts and language and patterns really started to kind of come to the top. It was the cream. And so we like to say that we're the uncoaching company, because we're really peeling back the layers
mm,
of what the constructs of the world have given us, as far as what leadership looks like, how we're supposed to show up. You know, Arletta, I watched you go to college. I watched you as a mom go back to school after working a dead end job to get your master's degree, to be a speaker, to go out because you saw it for yourself. And that is awesome for you. I'm so proud of you. And I think college and school is great. I didn't go to college. I don't have a degree. I have a high school diploma and I serve two branches of the service. I have a little bit different approach. I kind of like to get my hands dirty. I like to mess it up and then fix it. um, I am dipping my toe and going back to college though. But this time at 46 years old, I will say it because I'm proud of where I'm at now, is I finally have figured out what I want to be when I grow up. And I want to go back to school so that I can learn more about this study of understanding thoughts and language and the brain and breaking patterns and energy work and communication on another level. So we don't come in to fix anybody because nobody's broken. I think that is
mm.
something that's been given to us, I think, in the world, that somehow we're messed up, we can't be fixed, we're broken. And we do a lot of focusing on thoughts and language, because every time you have a thought, you immediately have a feeling. And in those two things, you create language around it. And if we're not careful, we pigeonhole ourselves into a place that we don't really want to go, but we don't know any different. So
Mm.
we help to break those patterns so that you can create a new reality for yourself. And each one of us has a different reality. So what is that for you? None of our programs are in a box. We don't have like pick from A, B, and C. And then we got to try to make you stay in that box, because human beings aren't meant to be put in boxes. We all have different gifts and beliefs and backgrounds and people that have been a part of our lives that help to shape who we are, just like I did, just like you did. And
Yes.
so we're not one size fits all. We are all uniquely amazing. We are all authentically different. And so why would I want to go into a team setting and try to get everybody to go into said program when we all bring different gifts?
Mm,
So my objective every time I'm with people is, tell me about you. If time and money were of no consequence, what would you do in your life? And I don't think anybody's ever been asked that and truly given a chance to sit and go, either I have an answer, or I've always dreamed of doing, fill in the blank, or they really truly don't know. And so kind of mining that out and figuring out, in your current position, how can you be happy in that current position? And if it's not that, if you're not playing in your 30% or your 70% where you're really happy, then let's figure out what that is. It doesn't mean you have to quit your
mm.
job tomorrow, but like, why not find something that actually gives you life?
Yes,
Because you and I are
fulfillment.
both example of that, right? Yeah.
Yes. I
So we're out of
love that.
Wisconsin. We're in Wisconsin, in the tundra, in the cold part of where you used to live.
Don't be calling
um,
me out. First of all, I've disassociated myself
I
with
know,
those
I
cold
know.
states. I'm like, No, I'm playing. But before you go on into about
Yeah.
Wisconsin, I just want to bring it back. But sweetie, you've always had degrees, and your degrees are just different types of degrees. You have a master's degree in mastery. You've mastered the art of
Yeah.
communication. And also you have a PhD in purpose because now you're serving at full altitude of what God has called
Mm,
you to do and who he's
yeah.
called you to be. So never, ever, I never want to hear you say that again because degrees, you absolutely, you possess those.
Yes,
Okay.
So
So I just
thank
want you to
you.
change
See,
that
this is
language
why I
just a
love
little bit.
talking to you.
You know, you my girl, I got you. So tell us more about this Wisconsin.
Oh, golly. Well, Wisconsin's great. Not where I'm originally from, but I've certainly been adopted here. And so my husband is here. Yeah, he works in law enforcement. My son, we raised him here, and he is now currently in the military as a firefighter. So, we have service in our heart. And so this is just an expression. Rewired Dynamics for me is an expression of always wanting to serve. And I think I was always trying to fit myself into somebody else's model. I think that's
Mm,
kind of where that comparison thing came in a long time ago. And it just kind of comes in like a whisper. It's not something you intend to do, but you start plugging yourself into everybody else's business.
yeah.
Not a literal business. You try to plug yourself into where you fit. And I know that my personality has always been about innovation. I go against status quo. I love to dream and I love to create and I love to collaborate with other people. And I kept trying to fit that into other industries and it just never worked. And so I continued to feel like I was failing something. And then I
Mm,
realized through my own, you know, search, my own quest, my own um, acclamation to being a good leader is it's not just about mindset. It's not just about motivation. It's not about any of those things. It's I had to figure out who I was. And that's what I give to other people is let me help you figure out you, how you're heard on the other side of yourself, how you
mm,
filter information, what lens you see that information through. Because again, we got a lot of layers, right?
that's
Kind of
right.
like your question. There's a lot of layers in there. But everybody comes with their own layers. And so we have to take the time to be active listeners. And active listening, you have to first have empathy and you have to have humility. That's what we call it. And you have to have
Wait,
integrity and you have to have resiliency.
mhm,
You
mhm,
want to know what
mhm.
humility is?
Run it by me, please.
Humility is humility and humble at the same time.
Humility. Okay, I got to use that.
Yes, you do. Write that down.
Humility. I think I just changed it in my language now. This is
Okay.
good. Whoever's out there, write that in the chat for me too, so I don't forget it. Humility.
Yeah. Did I
So
miss a
we got,
question of yours?
it was who you are is a person who is interested in serving, has always been
Mhm.
the person who finds their value in how they serve others.
Yeah.
And so that's good stuff. So now we know who Kim Galske is. We know you from cold, frigid Wisconsin. We heard a little bit about Rewired Dynamics, a little taste of
Mm,
what's going on with the family. Shout out to Kevin, your husband, whom I
mhm.
love so very much. And of course, shout out to your son. I don't want to put him out there, but I love him and he knows I'm
I
thinking about
know.
brownies every time I think of him. And so it boils down to a little bit bigger question.
Mm,
And if you could sum this up for me, what is your why?
mm.
Why? Why is it important for you to serve other people? Why this lane of work where you're uncoaching people? Why? Why is that important for Kim?
It really started with running a nonprofit for veterans. And I think that was the seed that was planted for people who truly, truly don't feel heard in the world,
Mm,
for people who want to do good, who want to work well with other people, who want to have successful relationships and successful marriages, and they want to be able to retire and know that their identity isn't wrapped up in their work. They, there's so many people that want so much and they hold themselves hostage. And I
Mm,
really got to see that. And I've done it to myself. And so my why is to liberate people, to give them freedom. Because when you know yourself, to lead yourself, and you can be honest with yourself, and you can truly look in the mirror and love that person, even as messed up as you think you are, there is a wonderful person in there. And I
mm,
think my why, that's my why. I just continue to, there's people aren't bad. They think they're bad and they beat themselves up. I did it. I'm speaking from my
yes.
own experiences of times when I spent crying in the dark because I didn't understand me and I was so frustrated with just wanting to create something. It's never been money that's been my focus. It's been
Right.
fulfillment for myself. So my why is liberating people from that prison, from holding themselves hostage. I want to liberate executives. I want to liberate the teams that they employ. I want to liberate those team leaders. And most of all, I want to liberate those people that are like me that are partners in companies, because we all go into this with great intentions. We all go
Yes.
into this like with a great idea and we're going to do the thing, and then nobody wakes up in the morning and says, I can't wait to go to work with my partner and eventually kill this and lose all of my friendships. We don't
Mm,
do that intentionally. It happens little tiny bits at a time because there are parts of us that we don't understand. And so if I can help, not if, I am helping people to rewrite where they're going, and they're able to go back and say, I'm really sorry because it wasn't your fault. I didn't know myself and now I understand. So can I do it again? Can we have some third gear time so that we can learn each other better and then maybe go fourth gear and actually do some focused work together? And just know that through, working in 5 gears, as we call it, we can go back and forth and have a common language. And when that common language, so many people speak foreign languages. I'm speaking to a global audience right now. Things get lost in translation. So
yes.
I've learned to crack the communication code with people because it's not industry specific. Leadership isn't industry specific. We're people. So that's my focus, that's my why, and that's really how I do it.
And that's why I love it. Absolutely love it. I think one of the most incredible things about the Empower Network TV is the fact that all of us are from so many different walks of life,
Yeah.
but the one commonality is that we have a desire to help others, to
Hmm.
liberate others, to serve others at a
Yep.
higher level. And
Yep.
this 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 platform is certainly a blessed a platform that the world
Yep.
needs. And I mean, one in itself that people are going to be able to tap into and coming and get what they need. Somebody's life is being changed right now because of
Yep.
something that you said, Kim. And I never want us to get so big that we forget that we
Mm.
forget
Amen.
that our words have transforming power,
Hmm.
and that the way we carry ourselves and the way we handle people has a way of transforming lives in ways that we may never know, but
Yeah.
yet it still happened. And so I know that people are out there right now and they're probably looking at this screen and they're thinking about how much they love Kim Galske already. But you know what? Get in line, because I've been loving her for years. I want you to please, please, please tell the people, how can they find you? Where are you? Where can they visit Rewired Dynamics? How can they
Hmm.
consult? How can they find you?
Absolutely. Yep. So our website is real easy. It's rewireddynamics.com. We're on Instagram, we're on Facebook. We're going to be expanding into more platforms as we go. We're definitely on LinkedIn. So we're on all of the usual social media platforms. If you want to reach out to me directly, it's Kim@rewireddynamics.com. I'd love to hear from you, and I'm always here to help.
Thank you so much, Kim, for being here with us on today. You have
Yeah.
certainly blessed this platform. I personally appreciate you for taking out time. I know your schedule is busy. You got one coming up right away here soon.
Yes,
So
I
I thank you
do.
for taking the time to be here with me, but also for the
Mm,
people's lives that were touched by the inspiration that you gave, the giving of
mm.
yourself on today, and blessing. Human service is what we're all in the field of doing. I don't care what background you come from. We're all in the
Yes,
field of human service because we serve people just at different levels. And
that's
so
right.
thank you so much. And so I'm going to have Mr. Amos Bracewell come on at this time. And we're going to close out this interview today. Thank you all so much for tuning in. Thank you for watching out there. And please be sure to leave your comments out there. If you're out there in our Facebook group and you're watching right now, look forward to hearing our responses. We'll get back to you in those comments, okay? Have